but it's fine. Howdy there, big ballers. Big ballin' boys. How's it going? Let me just take attendance. Afterburner?
Yup.
All right, go ahead and check him off. Ballin' Shandy?
Shandy.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and put Tardy. I'm going to have to write. It's gonna, if he's later than
One
15
more.
minutes.
You're gonna hear from the principal.
Yeah, you're going to be sent to the office. All right, so, and then Juice Daddy / Sauce Daddy, whichever. Which one should it be today? I think it's going to be Juice Daddy. We're feeling Juice Daddy today.
No, it's Sauce Daddy.
Sauce Daddy?
Yeah, because too much in the sauce.
Yeah,
Too
definitely.
much sauce.
I feel that. I definitely am. I'm picking up on there's an abundance of sauce here.
The sauciest.
The sauciest of episodes. Welcome back to the podcast. Sorry we missed last week. Last week we missed because of we were at Game 2 of the ALDS watching the Astros versus the Rays.
Yeah, it was pretty fun for my first time in a while going to a baseball game. It was one little weird part, but other than that, it was pretty fun.
You want to talk? Dude, that's such a podcast story. You want to talk about the weird part?
All right, we'll talk about the weird part. It's not nothing sports related, but
Yeah.
it is weird.
Super weird.
Apparently there's this train that just takes you downtown or wherever you want to go. It's like a little metro, right? Would you call it that?
Yeah, that's a metro.
So it's like a little metro for Houston, and you take it if you want to go, obviously, to the Texans or Houston Astros game. And so we go on this bus ride, and we're sitting down, me and Nico. Then this, like, I guess, like, homeless person comes in also, sits right in front of us next to this other guy. And then we're just talking, me and Nico, casually. And then I see a group of, like, emo people dressed kind of. I think it was like an anime kind of. I don't know if it was what was going on, but they were dressed like that. And I told Nico, "Oh, what's up with them?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Oh no, they were just dressed weird." And then Nico told me, I didn't realize this, but Nico told me after I said what's wrong with them, that the homeless guy in front of me just kept staring at me. But I mean, I wasn't really paying attention.
No.
I was just looking outside. But yeah, so apparently he was just staring at me. So then we come to the next stop. The homeless man just gets off. I mean, he gets up, and then I see him staring at me for a little bit when he's up, and then just walking out. And he literally comes right next to the window. So we're separated by like maybe 4 inches. Obviously, the window's in between us,
Yeah.
but it's like 4 inches. The guy is just like trying to peer into my soul. And the bus is stopped there for like a good 30 seconds, and he's just staring at me for 30 seconds, but I never looked at him because
Felt like an eternity.
It really did. I was like, what is going on? Like, why is this man staring at me? I get it. I look good, but dang. Come on, man. It was the weirdest experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
And my first time on a little metro, and I've already had a weird experience. I can only imagine if I go to New York or something.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. And then when that happened, the guy who was sitting next to you, he just turned around and looked at us. He was like, that was odd. I was like, it sure was. Anyways, welcome to Houston, H-Town.
H-Town, baby. Well, hold up. Before we get into this week's thing, I want to talk about something that happened last week.
Okay. Talk about it.
So, me and Nico were facing each other in fantasy.
Jesus.
Come the Thursday night games, who did you have on Thursday?
Russell Wilson, Chris Carson.
Russell Wilson and Chris Carson. He had 30 points?
No, it was a good amount of points. I don't know. We don't need to go into details.
He had 30 points. I did not have as much. He was beating me by a good amount just through the Thursday games.
Sure was.
And then Nico goes off starting talking all this smack.
I didn't even talk a ton of smack, bro.
It was a good amount of smack being talked.
Well, I felt very poorly about it.
He was confident in his team. He was saying, oh, man, this is going to be an easy win this week.
That doesn't even sound like me.
Come to Sunday night, I come up top, and I beat Nico, and it was the greatest feeling of all.
That sounds,
so not only
sounds like you had a very sad life. That was the best feeling.
I didn't say that was the best, but it was one of the greatest. It's definitely going down. I took a picture. I am gonna blow it up and put it on my wall. Just the final score.
Yeah, snapshot. Only time you go beat me ever, even though it's the second time you beat me this year in fantasy.
Exactly.
Whatever.
But yes, I wanted to talk about that because we didn't get to talk about it last week because we obviously did not go live. But yes.
It was some political stuff, man. I've forgotten about fantasy every week. Don't worry, Mike. I beat you. Take it. Take it.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose in both my fantasy leagues this week. It's very
Oh, that's
depressing.
too bad. I'm gonna win in both.
It is very bad, okay? I'm
nah.
upset. I need to take a good long look at my team, see what's holding me down.
Speaking, you know what? I came to the realization yesterday because I had Russell Wilson in the YouTube league that we have for the Bald with the Boys podcast. Insert air horn here, and also for our family, I guess friends and family fantasy league that we've had for years now, probably at least half a decade, probably more. But I realized because I had Russell Wilson in the YouTube one, and I was going against Russell Wilson. I was playing against my father in fantasy football, and then every time Russell Wilson was about to score, I'm just like, I don't know what to feel right now. And then I came to the realization that I much more want to win in the regular friends and family league than I do in the YouTube league. I need it. I need to win, and the two people having a conversation right now are the only two people to beat my father in fantasy football so far this year.
What's up?
If you guys want...
Yeah, but I had the same exact thing because I was going against Patrick Mahomes but have him in another league. So I was like, I don't know. Do good, maybe?
Do good? It's like that one thing where it's this one meme. It's like a drawbridge or whatever. And it's like new Avatar series. Open up the bridge. It's like, no, it's live action. Close the bridge. And it's just like, but it's by the original creators. Open up the bridge a little. My dad said lucky. How is it lucky? Even my team on my bench, I did everything to lose that game. Not on purpose. Definitely not on purpose.
No, but the Patriots defense is holding you up. I mean, that's the thing that's helping you win all these games.
Look, Patriots defense is on the trade block. Give me an RB1, RB2. Let's talk about it. Let's get a conversation going. I think the Patriots defense and special teams is one of the highest scoring players in fantasy football right now. Not defense. It's obviously number one, but I think it's the 10th wide receiver right now. So let's talk about, and you're not going to get production. I think another reason I won this week is because I also have a pretty good tight end in a very scarce field of tight ends this year. I have Austin Hooper, who got 117 yards, touchdown, baby.
That ain't going to happen a lot because who's the quarterback? Matt Ryan?
Yeah.
That ain't going to happen often. That's just a fluke.
Dude, honestly, no bull, Austin Hooper is actually a pretty great tight end right now.
He's a great. I'm not doubting him, but I'm just saying the quarterback has thrown into him and his team around him.
I agree, but they happen to go. Who do they play? Or they happen to go against the Cardinals, and I will reap all the benefits.
I saw this one thing. It's because he went for 4 touchdowns, 400 yards or something like that, and he's that's only been done by 65 or 66 quarterbacks. 65 of them won that game, and 1 has lost. And guess who lost it?
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Yep.
Matty Ice.
Do that. The only person to go do that good, but also lose the game. And I was hoping he wasn't going to do good because I was going against him in fantasy, and then I just see him go off, and I was like, oh my god, of course.
And then wait, did you actually go against him or did they sit him?
No, they started him.
Oh, okay. Was it Roger? Were you going against Roger?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I am.
And you're still probably going to lose that matchup.
You know what? I have hope. Kerryon Johnson, Aaron Jones ain't gonna do anything, and my boy Galladay is gonna go off.
Galladay road, Galladay road.
But I want to see how good your Patriots defense has done.
28 points this week. What? Are you talking about the season?
Yeah, the season.
Oh, baby, I have no idea, but it's good. All right, go ahead and fact check that.
14, 23, 15, 28. What is this? That is not average numbers for
What is that, a quarterback? Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Look how good that is. I've been throwing some trades out there because I need an RB. I went and messaged Cole, never messaged me back, trying to get Fournette. I was like, dude, you love the Vikings. I got Stephon Diggs for you right here. Just had 35 points. The point leader for this week. I'll trade you. I'm not sure if I want Fournette. I just know I just like him. If it's for the name, it's for the name. But guess what? So is Stephon Diggs is more of a name at this point. But he had a great week, and who knows what'll happen.
He's getting traded still, so I don't know why you have him.
Well, good. That means he's more likely to have a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins.
I mean, that is true. But the Patriots have New York Jets, which are an awesome
Obviously,
Super Bowl caliber team.
Sam Darnold, MVP.
And then they have the Cleveland Browns, and then Baltimore, and then a bye. So I feel like your defense is still, I would keep them. But, I mean, that's up to you. If you want to trade them, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I need a running back because who knows what's going on in that Chiefs backfield. I have no idea.
Who would ever think you would trade a running back for a defense?
So you're saying that nobody would?
I'm not saying that now, but I'm just saying, like, look at what you're offering. You're offering a defense for a RB2, RB1.
Okay, RB2.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really do anything against the Saints this week. So.
Who?
Leonard Fournette.
Oh. Well, yeah. Well, he still got like 11 points. Well, exactly. Go trade him. Give him to me.
But that's a defense. I was like, just hearing that trade does not sound fair. It sounds like you're taking advantage of someone. But looking at the points, yes, I can see. But still, it's a defense for an RB2. Like,
you're looking at the man with priority on the waiver wire, and guess who? I'm not going to tell you who I'm picking up. Never mind. I'm not. I leave it to myself.
Do it. I don't need your help. I started off 4-0. I don't want.
And then what happened?
I have the cowboy syndrome. You know, I was calibrated for like a little bit, and then now I don't know what's happening.
Try it with Gump.
Slowly crumbling.
It's a try it with Gump. I don't have the Patriots defense in that league. My brother does. He's 5-0, about to be 6-0.
I doubt he would give him up. Maybe.
No, I don't know. Okay, so we got some breaking news while we were setting up. And Cam Newton appears that he will be cleared to practice after this bye week. They have a bye in Carolina. And I think it puts the Panthers in a very unique situation, but kind of not. What do you think the Panthers should do, and what do you think that they will do with their quarterback situation?
Just do the same thing you did whenever Tony Romo got hurt. You play the hot hand. This guy is beasting it up. Why would you take him off when he's doing so good? You let even Cam rest even more. Who knows if he's actually 100% back? Like, just keep him resting and play your hot hand. This guy is doing amazing. I mean, why would you sit him? I mean, granted, Christian McCaffrey is doing like a lot of it too, but still, they're winning and winning by a good amount.
And maybe that's just what you need, more of a like game manager kind of player, you know. Cam Newton hasn't displayed like he's the Cam Newton of old, and I don't want to knock the guy because obviously super talented, but I think you got to go with the hot hand. Like, it's so hard to win games in this league or in the NFL, so I think you got to stick with what you got. And definitely kind of reminds me of Dak taking over for Tony Romo.
You play the hot hand.
Yeah, I think you got to do it. And then also, like, the word, like, I think if you put Cam in, I think he might be feeling like that itch. Like, he might be like, probably need to get back in here before this guy takes my job. Before that kid from that commercial, it takes my job.
Become your mom's favorite player?
Yeah, like, I think that's kind of why he's feeling kind of like pressure to come back. And I think just leave him on there. Like what a he'll be automatically the best backup in the league. So I think you go with Kyle Allen and see what happens. And if you bring Cam Newton back too soon, the decision will be made for you. And then, like, who knows what will happen if you take Kyle Allen out and try and put him back in later. I think exactly go with the hot hand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything else. And I've heard some people talk about it as like Cam Newton likes to scramble and everything and run, but like, how long can he do that? He needs to be someone who can just stay on the quarterback, which is what Kyle Allen does. He stays there and he's able to look at all his receivers and throw to the open guy instead of just running it and bulldozing or jumping over people and stuff like that.
And honestly, Cam Newton didn't do that while he was in there those first 2 weeks. Trust me, I had him starting those first 2 weeks. That's why I lost.
Yeah, because he was still injured. As he was saying, like, he still didn't feel 100%, which why he wouldn't tell anybody and get fully healed. I would never understand. Well, I guess you just want to play, right? But
yeah. You thought he could do it. Thought the safest hands were still his. But Kyle Allen also does a great job of spreading around the ball, and I think that's probably the biggest thing that he brings to the table because. I think that's what he is, a game manager, made plays when he needed to. They even beat the Texans, who seem to be streaking right now.
Yeah. And especially they're going to need, like, whatever Kyle Allen is giving them, they're going to need that because the Saints don't look like they're slowing down anytime soon. 4-0 not like
Yeah, 4-0 since
4-win win streak.
Since
Drew Brees got hurt.
So are they 5-1 then?
Yeah, 5-1, and then
that's stupid.
No, it's pretty good. I like it.
Boo,
but
stupid.
I mean, the offense still did not look good, but that defense is the one that is helping us. Like, they're carrying us along, and I just can't wait for Drew Brees to come back. Because I saw that Teddy Bridgewater had said that him and Drew Brees and Sean Payton, like, Drew Brees likes to call plays, likes to call blitzes and everything. Not call blitzes, but, like, help with the blocking and all that, and Teddy Bridgewater is more of like, okay, just tell me what play we're doing, and I'll try to execute that. But Drew Brees actually reads the field, and I can't wait to have that man back. But you don't need to rush him in either. Yeah, it's like because he wants to come back for week 9. But I was like, we're doing good. But then the Panthers are right behind us also. So I don't know.
Interesting. But I think like either way, even if you still have to play, or they still have to play the Panthers twice, so I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Something about because you're talking about how Drew Brees calls the plays. Russell Wilson in Seattle, they're saying that his audio went out in his helmet. So for one of the touchdown drives, Russell Wilson was calling the plays.
It was just all him?
Yeah. And I was just like, that's really great. He's an amazing player, and I think he's definitely an MVP candidate.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on. Because last year he was all right, but then this year he's on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Like, that man just escapes the pocket, runs it, sees open people, creates plays. I did not see this. Maybe he didn't have a line last year as much as good as this one. I don't know.
And they were the most run-heavy team last year, so he wasn't really wheeling and dealing it like he is now.
Yeah, and this man puts it like where no one else could. Like when they were playing, who was it, the Rams last week, and he dimed it at the corner of the end zone. I was like, oh my God, like off the run too. It was just crazy.
Yeah, he is insane. Looks like he got the X factor. I don't know what it was, but he's got it. And I was going to say something about it. Oh, because someone was just like, oh, well, look at the difference between Dak and Russell Wilson. They're like, Russell Wilson had to get down early or whatever, and then he brought his team back and all that stuff on the road. I was just like, Russell Wilson's a better quarterback right now than Dak is right now? Who would have thought? They're in two different places in their careers. Like,
yeah, for sure.
How long has Russell Wilson been in this league? I know it's not like a huge amount longer, but it's enough. Like, you can just go like how much he's improved, maybe not improved, but like how different his play is from last year to this year. And this is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So I was just like, that's not a fair comparison, I felt like.
That's definitely not.
I was like, of course he's better. He's Russell Wilson. I liked him, for a long time.
He's from Wisconsin, okay?
Yeah, and then my dad, I'm sure my dad's screaming at his phone right now. I told you when he was transferred from NC State that he was going to be a player and the Badgers needed to get him. He was a missing link. Yes, Dad, you're right. Congratulations, you're right. You're the oracle you saw before everybody else. So dang smart. And I remember,
before we get back too much into the NFL, let's talk about some college games.
Okay. So, what was the best game I saw in college this week? I didn't get to watch a ton of them. Obviously, I love watching Wisconsin because they just straight murdered the Michigan State Spartans. It was really cool to watch playing more of that Badger ball. I think the defense has scored more touchdowns than the defense has allowed this year, which is pretty insane. And
yeah, it's crazy. They blew him out.
Yeah, it was awesome. I really liked it. But the best game would probably be Georgia versus South Carolina because, boy, that shocked me.
I did not. I didn't watch that game because I was watching the Oklahoma-Texas game, and then after that, I don't know what I did. I just didn't watch any games. I don't know why.
This is stupid.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is not looking good for the Texans. They just lost 2 more people. They lost the starting safety to like a fractured forearm, so he's going to be out for 6 weeks. And then they lost the linebacker. I think it was like an ankle. Like that defense is hobbling. I mean, I don't know what is going on. In the beginning, they look great, but they just keep getting injured. And I don't know, the offense is really helping them also, so they were always on the field. I'm surprised it was as close as it was. They went for the onside, and for the second week in a row, they almost got another onside. It was a perfect kick, but the guy just wasn't fast enough. He stuttered step. He went around the player instead of just going straight. And that kid, Dicker the kicker,
dude,
pretty good.
Tell me about close onsides.
Oh,
No, we're not going to get into it.
We'll get
So the Georgia, I only watched the overtime, and then I saw that the dude tried to kick a field goal, missed. So what was Georgia? Georgia was like number 3 or something like that.
Yeah, Georgia number 3 and South Carolina coming in unranked and beating them.
Yeah, that's
and then
everyone's just like, that's why I got to love college football, blah blah blah.
Like, I mean, that's what you kind of do though. Like, it's just so crazy. Anything can happen like that, and you don't really get anything crazy.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Who knows who's gonna make it to the championship?
Well, okay.
Well, oh wait, we do know.
We do.
Wait, we know.
We know every year, but yeah,
every year.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, obviously there's stuff like this, but there's stuff like this in every sport. That's why.
So do you think that's going to help Wisconsin go up a little bit more rather than just like 1 or 2?
I think
because Georgia is going to go down,
I think
obviously
all of that rankings and stuff is irrelevant unless they beat Ohio State in Ohio. So I've seen the Badgers beat Ohio State. I know they can do it, but I think it's going to be very tough for them to match that speed, and not just match that speed, but play 4 quarters of it. Yeah, they've been dominant, but they've been ahead in a lot of these games. They haven't trailed yet.
So you got to kind of see what they have to.
Yeah. So let's say Ohio State gets the ball, drives down the field, scores that first touchdown. You're down on the road. I want to see how they respond. How's Jack Cohen going to play? Because I think he would be the biggest question mark. Is if he can help carry the Badgers when maybe Jonathan Taylor's getting stuffed. I know that's not how they want to play, but they're going to be in situations, or they might be in situations where they need to do that, and they need to come from behind. So I think I think that there's no better. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's Alabama and Clemson, but there's no there's no better team in the Big Ten with a lead than that Badgers defense and their running game.
Yeah, because they'll just milk the clock. They take it so much. But also another crazy game, I don't know if you watched it. I didn't watch it. I'm just looking at it right now. The Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Oh, that was a good game.
Double overtime, lost by 3. Mm-hmm. Don't know if they missed it or they went for it on 4th down or what, but that looked like another crazy game to Baylor.
It was a real back-and-forth game, and I'm talking about both teams are really trying to lose it in the beginning. Because I think Tech picked off Baylor. It was a pretty easy pick, and then Texas Tech, like 2 plays later, throws it right back. It looked like the dude from Baylor was running the route, but yeah, it was real back and forth. I think it was pretty low scoring in the first half, and then both teams just turned it on in the second half. And then it was, like I said, again, back and forth. And then there was a controversial call there at the end of the game. So
you hate to see it.
Yeah, you hate to see it. Baylor scored first, got the extra point. Tech went. And I think that they looked pretty dire there for a second, but they ended up scoring and matching them. And then they got the ball thereafter for the second overtime. Couldn't get a first down, so they ended up having to kick a field goal. And then now Baylor got it, and I remember there being a controversial call because my professor commented on it this morning. She was just like, you got to be careful. This is pretty controversial, kind of like Baylor's win yesterday.
Something like that guy from the Philadelphia Eagles, Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the call?
I don't remember. I was actively grocery shopping and listening to it on the radio. They were blaring it at the grocery store because I watched it, or I was following it at work, and then I was just like, okay, I got to go to the grocery store now because the Astros play at 7. So, I could do. Well, yesterday they won, and that's all that matters. I'm trying to see if I can find it real quick. A controversial call. But apparently it was because this was an undefeated Baylor team, by the way. And I don't remember. I don't know what the controversial call was. But I think the Big 12 did say that they blew a call. I got a notification. Yeah, the Big 12 said that they did mess up.
Damn! I wonder what it was.
We match blow for blow.
Probably one time, but I'm just trying to brush it under the rug and like, oh, we just messed up. All right, next game. Sorry about that.
And that's because they won. They beat Oklahoma State last week, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, wow, is this Texas Tech team actually ready to play?
I guess so. And then I have off this Saturday, so looks like I'm gonna go watch them play Iowa State.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
you. You gonna go throw some tortillas?
No, that is illegal, and I do not condone that kind of behavior as a Texas Tech employee. I'm Googling it. Texas Tech blown call. Oh, wow, it's there. I didn't even have to finish.
Wow, probably everybody's looking at it like, oh, come on now. Better not be a pass interference. I know all too well about these pass interference calls.
The Big 12 admitted that its officials made an incorrect call in the first overtime of number 22 Baylor's 33-30 double overtime win over Texas Tech. On the second play of the first overtime, Baylor center Jack Vermorgen was hit with a false start penalty for what the officials said was an illegal snap. On that play, Vermorgen must have thought his quarterback was lined up under center because he snapped the ball off his own backside instead of the quarterback, Charlie Brewer. Wah, wah, wah.
No,
Who was
yeah,
there's an obvious moment. I was going to say when I finished. The ball fell to the turf, and Texas Tech pounced on it for what looked like a fumble recovery. But the play was blown dead, and Baylor was issued a 5-yard penalty, wiping away TTU's recovery. 2 plays later, Baylor scored. In the statement released Sunday, Big 12 confirmed that the ruling on the field of an illegal snap was incorrect.
Damn, dude, that definitely would have changed the whole game because all they needed to do is just kick a field goal, or they already had. Who got the ball first?
That's why Baylor had the ball first. All they needed to do was kick a field goal.
Oh, my God. That is... Oh, man.
The dang officials always ruining the game. Where my football gone?
But yeah,
it's just
crazy.
Can you believe it? Can you believe this? I didn't know about it, but now I'm upset.
And you can't challenge that? It's because they called it dead, I'm guessing?
Yeah,
so.
But also you can't challenge the penalty, though, so the play never happened.
Oh, man. That's some bull.
Now I'm going to go be upset with everybody else tomorrow.
Now I'm really upset.
Look what you did to me.
It seems like there's a lot of close games for Wake Forest lost, number 19 to Louisville. That's 62-59. Notre Dame, number 9, almost lost to UC 27.
Yeah.
It looks like it was a great weekend for college football.
What a crazy rivalry. I'm like, shut up. Notre Dame's not even in a conference. I don't care. Like you could say all you want, it's like blah blah blah. They don't have a conference championship. Blah, blah, blah. They don't get a ring. I was like, well then join a conference, idiot. Literally everybody else is in one. It's like join the Pac-12. I don't understand why they're so reserved about it. I don't know the argument. I love Mike Golick from ESPN, and I know he went to Notre Dame, and he's always talking Notre Dame up. And I'm just like, yeah, but whenever they play anybody in an actual conference, they always get whooped.
I guess. Have you seen the scores?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, except I think they beat Georgia, or they beat Georgia, or Georgia beat them. But it was a lot closer than I thought because I was just like, well, Notre Dame always gets whooped.
There's a lot of games that are closer than you thought, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, so before we get into the NFL, because that's where the meat of this baby boy podcast usually is, we're going to talk a little bit about the MLB, talk about the playoffs. So it's been a crazy wild ride. One of my picks to go to the World Series is already out of there. But that's
your picks,
okay.
who'd you pick? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and your World Series winner pick is also out. So that's cool. At least something good came from it.
You know what? I still like I can win it overall. What's the record between that? Isn't it like tied now or something like that?
Let us see. So all of the games except for the Yankees versus Twins went to 5 games. Like all of the series went to 5 games in the ALDS. So very exciting stuff. Astros versus the Rays. The Astros won that series. I think we both picked them. Yeah. Braves and Cardinals. I picked the Cardinals, I believe. I don't remember.
Don't ask me who I picked.
I think we both picked the Cardinals. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Dodgers or the Nationals beat the Dodgers, and I had the Nationals losing to the Brewers in the wild card round. So
I got the Nationals right then because I remember that one.
Yeah, you picked the Nationals to win the wild card, but you didn't have them. You didn't pick them to go All
Yeah,
three.
it
I think
definitely
I got both of the wild card games wrong. Starting off 0-2.
I went 1-1. That for sure I'd know. I went 1-1 in the wild card.
And then I got the Astros right. So now 1-2.
Same.
You're 2-1. I had to do math.
Hold on, I gotta add the one.
And then I went 3-2. Nope.
No, because I picked the.
No,
we both picked the Dodgers to win.
I went 2-2 with the
farther.
Cardinals. Yeah. And then so 2-3 because I got the Dodgers wrong. Yankees I got right. 3-3. I'm tied up. So that must mean you're 4-2.
Yes, sir. Look at us.
Yes. And then I mean, it doesn't really. It's a toss up now. It doesn't matter for the NL. But I'm dying.
Yeah, you all right?
Yeah.
You got to see
Because
alive Nico's death here on the podcast.
Congratulations. Replay
But
it.
you know what? I want to talk about this Astros and Yankees game because I was watching it for a little bit, and
You're talking about game 2, right?
Yes, game 2. This most recent one that happened yesterday.
Okay.
I was watching the game, and I heard them say that the Yankees coach has 13 different pitchers to choose from, so he's not going to let any of his people get into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw, I guess, the starting pitcher strike out some guy, and then they just took him out. And then literally the first pitch on the next play, the Astros guy, I don't remember who it was, hit a home run off of him.
George Springer Dinger.
I was like, why would you take that guy out if he literally just struck this guy out, nobody on base? And I don't know what he was thinking, but I was like, it just seemed, I don't watch a lot of baseball. I don't know if it was the right call that he did or not, but obviously it wasn't because the guy literally got a home run the first pitch on the next guy.
Yeah, I saw that. I think you got to go with your hot hand. I understand the analytics, they say this and that and the other thing, but I think you got to go with your gut in most of these situations. But I think they had a game plan, and the game plan was he would last this long, and maybe he's also saving him for game 3. But, yeah, that guy was doing very well.
I did not like it.
Yeah, exactly. But I was just like, wow, they're taking him out. And then very first pitch hits a home run. I was like, I like this new guy. He's cool.
I don't even think that guy lasted a whole inning.
No, they took him out right after that. They're like, yeah. So I want that job. I just want to pitch one time, allow a home run, and be like, see ya.
How much I get paid again? I'm okay.
Nah, I don't give a shit what happens. You guys got this.
I didn't watch the all game because I stopped at the top of the 8th or something. It was somewhere around there. I saw it was 2-2. And I was like, all right, well, this game's going to go on forever. It was already like 10 o'clock maybe. Yeah. I was like, it's past my bedtime. I need to go to bed. I am a little baby. So I didn't get to watch it. I just woke up, looked at the score. I was like, wow, they won. Good job. Good for them.
I was contemplating. I just had dinner like as soon as the game started, and I was like, I got to go on the treadmill. Like they need me. And then I'm like, Nico, you're being ridiculous. You have no impact on this game. So I sat and I watched the game after it was tied. After it was like tied 2-2. I started looking at some of my notes for class because I had not an exam, a quiz. And then I was like, I'm pretty confident. And then they brought out Chapman, and I've seen Chapman pitch before live, and the closer. I know you didn't get to watch him, but I'm sure you'll see him again in this series. Ooh, baby, does that guy throw super freaking fast, and I don't like him.
What's his miles per hour?
He was
average like 96.
No, every pitch he was throwing was like 100, 101.
Oh, damn, boy!
Like this is when they say high heat, they're talking about this baby boy. So they're like, I think he's actually one of the best closers in the game. I was like, yeah, I know. Because he used to play for the Reds, and that's when I saw him play against the Astros. So I'm like, they can't touch any of his stuff. Like, he struck him out 1, 2, 3. Like, everybody was just behind on that. I was like, well, looks like they lost this game. But yesterday, I'm like, no, these aren't the same Astros. Like, literally, no one is the same on that was on that team. But I was just like, these guys are good. We'll figure it out. One of them ended up, I don't remember who it was. I'm trying to think. I think who's ever batting ninth So Diaz maybe.
Who knows?
But he forced a walk, and they were thinking about Chapman going 2 innings, the 9th and the 10th, but he threw like over or almost 30 pitches in the 9th one or the 9th inning. So they're like, all right, well, I guess that was it for him. And they brought in someone's grandpa, CZ Sabathia, who I haven't seen in a long time. I kind of forgot he was still in baseball, but oh my God, he was there. Got to face one bat. They said he was planning on retiring this year, and then he was suffering from a shoulder injury. Then he started throwing the ball around in the yard. He's like, hey, I feel pretty good. And then so they put him in. And I was ready to talk smack about him, but he got his one man out. So, well, looks like they were right. Good thing they brought him along.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. 105 though. Damn.
Yeah,
I remember like in Little League, these guys maybe throwing not even Little League, maybe it was Little League, like maybe 7th grade. They're throwing like maybe 40, 50 miles per hour, and I was already scared of the ball. I can only imagine it coming 105 miles at you. How do you even see the ball? You just close your eyes and swing and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's what I did the majority of my career.
Swing, hopefully I put
but
it right.
Boo when I made contact, baby boy. And then when later on in high school I started seeing breaking balls, and I was like, what the heck was that? Well, sorry, I didn't know we were playing Yankees over here today.
And prayers for that freaking security guard who got dead.
Oh my God.
I didn't see what happened, but apparently it was bad because they had to put a towel over his head.
Yeah.
He got hit. Like, I can only imagine how fast it was going. Like after that hit, but apparently it was pretty fast and it was pretty bad because everybody on the bench looked like
they witnessed a murder.
Yeah, so I was like, damn, bro. I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, for real. And they never gave us like a real update. They're like, he's at the hospital now. Like, so is he all right? Or, if anybody knows, put it down in the comments. But yes, Chapman can really throw it. So I was a little nervous, but then I was like, oh yes, they took him out in the 10th. Didn't do much in the 10th, but I was very impressed by the bullpen of the Astros because they had been struggling. So it's definitely really cool to see Harris come out, do a pretty good job. Osuna come out, handle himself pretty well. And then that weird side armor, Smith. Is that Smith? Some Smith. But I was like, he's okay according to Houston radio. Sweet. Good.
Nice.
Thoughts and prayers. But Smith, he was throwing it all sidearm. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I glanced away for a second. I thought like the pitch had like bounced and then went in the strike zone. But it did this weird thing where like it comes down and then goes back up. And I was like, what? Like, I was like, is this a cartoon? It was crazy. But yeah, I mean, he handled them so pretty well. I think he was the one that got the outs in the 10th. Tried to come back in the 11th. Didn't really. He got replaced. I don't remember by who, but he got out of the inning. James got out of the inning. So very cool. And then first pitch in the bottom of the 11th, they sent it in. Correa sent it out in a body bag.
I saw the pitch, and I saw it. It's like, boom. And I was like, damn. As soon as he hit that, the pitcher didn't even look. He's like, damn, that's out.
Knew exactly. He's like,
as soon as he heard it, I was like, yeah.
He just started walking off the field. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was like, damn, boy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And Dad, since you're in the chat, would you tell me J.A. Happ was an Astro at one point, right? Or did I imagine that? Let me know down in the comments.
I just imagine it, bro.
Probably, but yeah, I love Correa. I love the swagger he had after he hit that ball. He just looked at the dugout. I was like, "Come on,
let's do." And apparently, they had another Alex Bregman catch, but for the Yankees this time. I thought that was going to be like a good double play or something, but nope, that guy snagged it out of the air, the Yankees player.
Oh yeah, screw that guy. Also, I think the Yankees got up some bad juju. I'm pretty sure you saw. I think my dad shared it to both of us. The Yankees throwing baseballs at the train. For what? I don't know. They were just throwing them in warm-ups. They were getting baseballs and just chucking them at the train. And Minute Maid.
Hey, we don't like you.
Just for what reason? No. And then someone's like, screw these Vandals. I hope that's bad juju for them. I hope the Astros go off. They didn't go off, but I think that maybe
they're
there
about
was
to next tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe. But
I didn't see that. Well, at least I didn't read about it or anything.
Yeah. My dad said Hulk Hogan hand to ear was awesome. Yeah, it felt so good for someone who Carlos Correa came in like a lightning bolt into the league, and then he's been dealing with a lot of injuries. The team, I think it's more of the team just got really stacked over the past couple years, and so he's kind of like gone down in the lineup, but he's still got that power, baby boy. There's a reason they drafted this man at 18 years old. So, and it just seems so good to see him come through in a time like that. So, yeah, it was awesome. But did they hit it? Because that's kind of – it wasn't impressive. It's not impressive to hit that train if you're in the majors. Like me, it would be pretty impressive. But I don't think I could get it up there. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
But did they hit it?
Yes, they did hit it. Yes, they kept hitting it like a bunch of jerks. There's a man in there. There's a conductor in there.
Is there really?
Yeah, there's a guy in there.
Oh yeah, you told me like he won. Like,
yeah, he got a ring too. Yeah, of course he did. Yeah, we need him. He's an important part of the team.
Wait, so what is it? Every time they score,
every time they hit a home run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, baby. That's why you heard it going off with that walk-off win, baby. Oh man,
yeah, I had no idea.
That got me juiced. How was I supposed to sleep after that? I'm just kidding. I was so tired.
I was ready for
I was like, please. I meant the tweet I had. I'm like, Correa, thank you for hitting this bad boy out of here. I don't want to be up anymore. I want to go bed.
Please just end it.
And he just, oh man, it was beautiful. And like those shots like that just get you juiced.
And choke. That's pretty good.
Got the juice. Okay.
Like I said, I went to bed before that.
Okay. Baseball, very exciting stuff. I think the Cardinals and other team, Nationals, play tonight. And
yep.
And they're up, the Nationals are up 2-0. What?
I don't know. So I don't know if that's an upset or not.
It seems like an upset to me. I don't know. I guess I haven't really been watching this year.
Just the Astros.
Yep, just the Astros. So I think the best game I watched in the NFL this week, I guess, would be the Texans versus the Chiefs. Thought it was very good. I thought, and I'm not just saying that because Deshaun Watson's up on the fantasy team. But I thought it was a nice back and forth, and you see what happens when, I guess, the Texans give Deshaun Watson enough time to, I don't know, think for a second.
He actually does some good, yeah.
Yeah, and Will Fuller, and they won despite Will Fuller dropping like 3 touchdowns that game. So
I didn't get to watch that one.
Yeah, and everyone was like Patrick Mahomes, blah 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 blah. It's like the Chiefs have lost the last 2 games, and no one said anything. But I still think the Chiefs will be just fine.
Yeah, I saw this thing saying that the defense of the Chiefs is what's going to keep them out of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think the same thing.
And Mike, I saw that. Mike said Saints are winning it all. They have Catholicism on their side.
Got an anime on my side.
The Pope tweeted at #Saints. No, it wasn't an accident because he is for sure a Saints fan, 100% confirmed. We have God on our side now. That's why Teddy Bridgewater is pulling it out, baby.
No, that's
4-0 as the starter.
Nope. God's on the Cowboys side.
Obviously not.
No,
have you
seen what God put his followers through? Why do you think?
His best. He's like he muffed that. He made who was it? Maris Thomas. Is it him? No.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Who?
The onside kick. It was super close.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, that's exactly. God was like, whoo.
Yeah, like, what else you want me to do? Yeah, I saw that onside kick. I was like, oh. And then I was like, oh man, he was right there.
Tony Romo and Jim Nantz tried to put every single broadcaster's jinx on both teams that game. Mainly the Jets, though. Like, I understand that they said, like, oh, the Jets are the worst, and the Jets look like the damn Patriots yesterday. But but they were like, oh, well, Sam Darnold, he's playing an amazing game. Hasn't made a single mistake, and that's an interception. Good.
Yep.
and then I don't like. They're like, nobody has a chance on onside kicks these days. I haven't seen anybody. These onside kicks are impossible. Demaryius Thomas bobbles it almost. The Cowboys. If there was anybody worth a damn on that hands team, they would have got it.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is way too close. It was crazy. But that 2-point conversion call, what would you have done different? What do you think? How do you feel about that 2-point
Look,
conversion.
I would have called the exact same play that they called when they started the third quarter with Witten coming out. I would have had somebody moving somewhere, please. I would have done some sort of crosser or something like that. I understand, or I want to say that I would want to do like a pull play with Zeke. That would be the safe play, but I'm not a fan of pulling like near the goal line. Like
just leave someone right there open.
Yeah, you're leaving someone unblocked. Like just man up on them. Like you think you're the better team, right? Like you want to run the ball, impose your will, then go ahead, do it. Man on man, block the guy in front of you, and let's go. Let's ball. But I hated the play call. You knew what they were going to do. You knew they were coming after you. I think the Saints kind of made this blueprint where it's just like let everybody go to Dak because these wide receivers have a hard time getting off man. You know, like with that last Hail Mary play against the Saints. And so I just
no time. I thought that was a great call, and then another great call here again, obviously.
Yeah, I thought it was great. But I would throw it to like Jason Witten. He's great, but he's not Jimmy Graham. He's not a guy that's going to go and get jump balls. And I'm saying that even though he did have a good like basically jump ball play on that drive, but I wasn't feeling it. I think that the refs knew that they blew the call because they ended up calling like a holding like the very next drive on the Jets. So
man, there's so many freaking penalties that drive. It was like 5 back to back. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, on both teams. Like it wasn't just
it wasn't just one. Yeah.
And I want to say, they blew the call. Like there was a big play, that offensive pass interference. It really was, but you got to take it out of their hands. I think the Cowboys have used every excuse in the book. Get over it. You lost to a team you shouldn't have lost to. End of story.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this because I was looking at the news and all that, but they were talking about Jason Garrett and how they were saying he might not be the problem, but he's obviously not the answer for the Cowboys. Yeah,
and I think this segues perfectly into something I wanted to talk about, is how I think there's more Cowboy haters there are more people that hate the Cowboys than any other franchise, I think, ever. Maybe you talk about something soccer that I know nothing about. I think their only rival might be the Yankees, but I feel like people like who don't watch baseball, they'll be like, "Oh, I'll root for the Yankees. Why not?"
Yeah,
and
I feel like the Patriots have a lot of heat too.
They do, and I think the Patriots have more warranted heat, not because they're like a worse franchise or anything like that. They're just been better over the past 20 years. Go and hate them, okay? We're in the same boat as you guys, okay?
So why do you hate us? Yeah, exactly. I see what you mean.
And there's so many posts. I have received a lot of memes this week in the past couple weeks for people I don't even really talk to. So that's really sweet. And to those Cowboy haters that feel like they need to go out of their way to talk about the Cowboys, I think that most Cowboy haters are closeted Cowboy fans. And here is why. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Here we go.
So you guys think Jason Garrett is trash and needs to be fired. Welcome to the fucking club.
I heard that he's like 10 seasons with him and has one playoff win, and then Jerry Jones is still back him. Every loss, he's like, nope, Jason Garrett's good. Nah, don't worry about him. Maybe someone else.
You think why are people hyping up the Cowboys when they haven't won in so long? Don't know. Don't know either. I agree. Let's get into the play. Let's go to a championship game. Let's win a divisional game, please. Once in my lifetime.
I just want to see.
You don't think they're very good? Me neither.
Like, I'm right there with you.
But it's more fun. Like it's more fun when they're 3-0 and you just like go with it. Okay. Like I didn't like. There's a lot of peaks and valleys in this league, and I'm sure the Chiefs, Rams, Cowboys are all ready to go back up. But I like it's just taper your expectations. But it's more fun when you're all in, baby, talking about Kelevation. And yes, I'm talking about myself now.
Kelevation, baby, never doubted him.
But I think most people we agree that defense played down to the Jets. I agree. I want them to play well, and they're not. You guys are upset. I understand you guys are Cowboy haters. You guys talk more. I think you guys hate, quotation marks, the Cowboys more than you like your team. Like,
They always talk about- yeah.
yes, all they do is talking about the Cowboys, and that's okay. Come on, come here, bring it in. We're in this
It's okay.
together, baby.
It's okay. They upset me also, all right?
We're both upset by them. I understand. We're here.
Yeah.
Just come on, come here. We'll talk about this.
It's okay.
And I hate you're good, and then people are just like, oh, I knew that they were going to lose one of these days. I knew yes, there's peaks and valleys for every team. Like, there was a point last year where I didn't think the Cowboys were worth a damn, but they ended up making the playoffs. Like, peaks and valleys.
Yeah, it's like that for every team, because then you'll be like, this team doesn't show up, and then next week, boom, they're on fire. It's like, what? Where did this come from? Why wasn't that last week?
Yeah.
But it's just week to week.
Exactly.
And they also were a lot of hurt people there, too, because you didn't have Amari Cooper got out in like maybe the first, second quarter.
Yeah, both tackles hurt.
Yeah.
Randall Cobb out. And, like, look, we can make the Cowboys have plenty of excuses. Like I'm just tired of hearing them. Yeah, these guys are out, but would that stop the Saints? Would that stop the Patriots? Would that stop the Packers? Like, no, it doesn't. So, and like, I don't want to hear about how the Packers had 10 days rest before they played the Cowboys. Yes, I know, Troy. I know. But that's not an excuse. And he says it's not an excuse. But yeah, you're still making it. So, and do you want to say Dak's not a good quarterback? Whatever. Like, he shows that he can make throws in this league. But there, like, that offense just wasn't very good in that first half. You can't do it so late. It kind of reminded me of a Tony Romo-esque game.
Yeah.
And maybe I was looking at those with child's eyes back in those days. So Tony Romo was like a superhero to me when he'd come back. And maybe that's like, I don't want to say like, oh, if Romo was in, we would have won. Not saying that. But I've seen Romo throw 5 interceptions and still win. Like, he'll just,
like, you found a way.
Yeah. And I swear to God, can we just hire Tony Romo as the head coach of the Cowboys? I don't remember.
That guy knows exactly what the other offense is doing, how to do it. I think he'll be a great defensive coordinator just because he understands the offense so well.
I think he just needs to be like there, like in that booth where the coordinator usually is. He just needs to be up there and be like, or just like be in the like middle linebackers thing the whole time. Be like, oh, it's a run.
Yeah, because he was able to scan the field while he was down there. Imagine what he can do when he's up there and just sees everything. He's like, oh, this is so much easier. I can just help out real quick.
Like, like, people want to poop on Dak, and like, I love Romo. Yeah, I would love for him, but even if Romo stayed healthy, he probably still wouldn't be playing right now. Like Drew Brees and Tom Brady, they're immortal. I don't know what's going on. Like, they're outliers.
Obviously not.
Okay, he's not dead. Like, no, well, maybe not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're outliers. Like, they shouldn't be playing at the level that they are. Like, not everybody can do that. And also doesn't help when you're beat up like the majority of your career and they don't get a good offensive line until the last couple of years. And everyone's just like, where was that? It was like, well, he was running for his life earlier. You know, that's why his back sucks. Because you guys didn't invest in the offensive line. But... look, Dak doesn't play safety. How is he supposed to stop that 93-yard touchdown to Robbie Anderson? That's your job, Heath.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, the Cowboys' offense wasn't producing much, but that defense was sure not helping them. And I can kind of relate because the Saints' offense was not doing anything. But you know what? The defense showed up. They were stopping them. And that's all you need. Like, you just need your defense to show up. And obviously, you're not going to show up every game, like offense or defense. But you always need like the other person to depend on, and that's what the Saints did this week. Offense was not producing well. They only got 1 touchdown, but the defense was there to help them out. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what they didn't have.
We were talking about how the defense of the Chiefs are going to keep them out of the Super Bowl, but I think the Patriots are keeping Kansas City out of the Super Bowl. You're probably correct.
I don't even know what is going on. How are they so good? I saw this one meme. It was like Bill Belichick and the Patriots defense, and then just carting around Tom Brady on a little wagon.
I mean, when like I've seen the Patriots teams win any way they can. That's really like defense isn't playing good, which hasn't happened this year, and I hope it never happens because I got the defense and special teams. But and then Tom Brady will pick him up whenever that's slacking. But a point I wanted to bring up because I was just like, oh, Cowboys, blah, blah, blah. 3-3. Like, this is only a big deal because they won the first 3. And the big reason they won the first 3 was the people they're playing. So
it's also true.
But look, they're if they won this game against the Jets and lost against the Eagles next week, guess what? It doesn't matter about that win for the Jets. So 3-3, tied for first in the division, but it's still just weeks. We're going into week 7 now.
I mean that's the silver lining though. Yeah. It's just like not everyone else is doing great in the NFC East.
It's such a poor, like they could even lose the Eagles and still make the playoffs because they have another game against them. So
yeah,
we'll see. And I went back to the well in my brain. And I was just like, how many times have I thought a Super Bowl or a team wasn't a Super Bowl team and they ended up winning? Well, let me take you back to 2007. I've seen 2 9-7 Giants teams win a Super Bowl. I've seen Eagles team that won a Super Bowl with the backup, and I think that was just Nick Foles. I think Nick Foles is real life Matt Saracen. A bit like Brian Allight's Matt Saracen just comes in, closes his eyes, throws it,
and they win the game somehow.
Yeah, but
it works. It works.
Not to disrespect Matt Saracen or Nick Foles. I think they're both quality quarterback QB1s. But
and
yeah,
the Minshew magic is going down.
Oh, I know, man. It just breaks my heart, and I'm glad I didn't shave my beard into a stash.
I mean, he gets to do it.
Dorks Next Door says, Dak is consistent at least more than other QBs in the league. Number, sir. And did you want to jump in? You can jump in whenever. If you're
looking pretty crazy. The freaking what's his name? The Cardinals quarterback. Like, what is going on
Kyler
with him?
Murray.
Is it just because he was playing, or he's finally getting more confident? But I mean, he had a lot of points. He was able to get some good passes in. I don't know if he's finally figuring out. He's finally settling into and recognizing the speed, because obviously they say like each level you go up, it's a different speed. And I felt that going from JV to varsity, it's a different speed. I can only imagine how fast it is in the NFL. So I understand how it would take some time to get used to everything going on, reading the defenses and understanding everything.
Oh, totally. I think what really is happening, I thought they're like, let's throw that air raid offense in the garbage and let's play a pro offense. And it's really been working.
Yeah.
Haven't watched a ton of them, I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't know if that's actually true, but I thought that's what was going on because that's what it kind of felt like at the end of that Lions game in week 1. That's probably the most I watched them because I was more watching it when the Falcons were on offense because fantasy. But
of course.
But I think Kyler Murray he's like a created player in Madden. Like, he seems super fast.
For real. As soon as he gets out of that pocket and turns it on, it's like, oh my god, like this guy is taking off.
Definitely see why he was the first pick. And I'm curious to see how the rest of this goes. I know I talked a lot of smack about Cliff Kingsbury, but I'm still it's an exciting offense. And I'm excited to see where it goes. And it's still, the defense is still a great fantasy matchup.
All right, so what do you think about the Garbage Bowl? I'm calling it that. The 0-4 versus the 0-5 Dolphins versus, who is it, the Redskins?
Yes. You're talking about the tank fight?
The tank fight, yeah.
You're talking about battle tanks, bro? Yes. How
did you feel about that last call? Like, even if he would have caught that pass.
Tackled by 6 guys.
They were literally all right there around.
I hate it. If you're going to throw a pass, throw it in the end zone. Like, you're literally, like, you're 3 yards away. What are we doing here? I'm just tired. I hate it. So, none of that bull. You might as well just run. If you're going to do that, just run it. What are we talking about here? But,
yeah, I mean,
I love the call. Like, go for it. Definitely. What are you going to go to overtime for? We're
not going for the playoff race, We're just trying to win some games.
I agree with the call. But I don't agree with the play call. Pretty much.
Yeah, same here. I was like, what are they doing? I was like, all right.
Yeah.
do you, if you want.
Fitzmagic. I honestly, I was gonna be like, run it, try and run it, but I don't. I guess their stuff isn't very good, and so their whole team's not very good. So that would have been a bad call. But I keep on not touching the controller, and it keeps on going out. That's on me, guys.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry, okay? I just forget. I get into it. We're talking about tanking for Togatoa.
That's what you're trying to do?
Yes. And that's what I'm doing. Kind of. I'm trying my best to tank, but I just keep winning.
Oh, my gosh, whatever.
I'm trying to tank for Barkley. But, yeah, I mean, I didn't really watch a ton of it. I picked up Scary Terry McLaurin in the YouTube league because I had a good feeling about that matchup, and he was the one that scored. I think that I think they're going to be better now that they have Bill Callahan. Bill Callahan used to be the offensive line coach for the Cowboys, and so he's one of the big proponents when they started to run more. And you can definitely see that. Adrian Peterson had 112 yards, and that also could be because of the Dolphins' defense.
Who knows? We'll find out next week.
But I honestly, I think maybe I know that they just used Chris Thompson in the passing game, and I know he got hurt. I don't know the extent of it, but I think that he definitely has some pop in his runs. Like he definitely is quick. So I think he's a good change of pace for somebody like Adrian Peterson. So
just a hard-nosed runner, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
so
nowadays.
Exactly. So I think that they got to change their mentality. They got to change their culture there in Washington because they're no good. And I think that running the ball is a good way to do that. Try and switch it up because obviously you just running and gunning it ain't working.
Yeah, 0-5. Now 1-5.
Looks like you guys just lost out on the first pick.
You fools.
You fools.
That's what this was for, just the first pick. Right into the trap.
So we talked about, I had 3 topics written down. I put the Cowboy haters, closeted Cowboy fans. Stephen A., you can walk over the line anytime you want.
It's okay.
Because you're obviously in love. Gardner Minshew, magic over.
I don't know if it's over. I mean, the Saints defense is great. That's the only thing I'm scared of. Like, they're playing so great at a high caliber, but I feel like maybe they're going to get tired because they're always having to be on the field because the offense isn't producing.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, maybe I do want Drew Brees to come back week 9 just so it gives them defense some rest, like much needed because they're always playing, but I don't want Drew Brees to get hurt. It's like catch-22. I don't know which one I want, but I feel...
What do you want?
Just save him. I'm saying now. Save him for...
Sorry, I was giving everyone black screen real quick just to make sure that Andy's invited if he wants to jump in. What were we talking about? Oh, Drew Brees. I think I say just wait. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm always more on the safe side with that kind of stuff.
And I feel like the offense is going to be like on a whole nother level, like I said before, because Drew Brees actually reads the defense, and he will change the play if he sees something he doesn't like or he sees something he does like. Unlike Teddy Bridgewater, I mean, yeah, every now and then, but like he even said it himself, he's more of, tell me what the play is, I'll execute it. Mm-hmm. So he's not really trying to look and read the defense and make his own things. He's just there doing the best that he can with what he's given. And
look at him. He's trying.
I mean, he's doing great.
Yeah, no,
got a good touchdown pass to Jared Cook at the end. He had Michael Thomas right there at the end zone, wide open. Great route. He saw that it was covered. He went to the outside, and Teddy Bridgewater was overthrowing a lot of passes that game, which got me a little scared. I was like, oh, come on, like, you're doing great. It's fine. Just stick in there. Stick with it. And they did, and they were able to go down there and get a touchdown with Jared Cook. But the one person I feel like that's going to benefit the most with Drew Brees coming back, Michael Thomas is doing fine. He's getting his receptions. I think he had like 7 or 8. But I feel like the one that's going to produce more is Alvin Kamara, because Drew Brees were able to carve up that defense and give more room for him to run, because they're obviously going to be scared with Drew Brees back there, because he can read a defense like no other.
And we all know Alvin Kamara doesn't need much.
No, he does not. He'll break just one guy usually can't tackle him, not because he's just a powerful back, but he's just so slippery.
Elusive.
I don't understand his balance. Yeah, his balance is off the rails. It's pretty crazy. Some of his balance workouts, if you guys ever see him, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I've dabbled in it. Don't even worry about it.
I've dabbled in it.
I've sat on a ball once. But there's one last. Oh, there he is.
I'm here. I finally made it.
Yeah. All right. That's a tardy. We're going to go ahead and knock it out.
That's fine. I'm used to that anyway. So.
Are you usually late to your classes?
All right. Well, I'm going to take
yeah, because I live like 45 minutes, like 50 minutes away. So it's one of those of like, sometimes I'm like 20 minutes early, and then I'll leave at the same time, and the next day I'll be like an hour late because of traffic and things. So,
sorry, I had to get something. I don't know if you can see in the video. What were you saying, Justin?
Oh wow! I just saw the video.
All right, all right. I don't know what happened to Justin. I think he's dead.
I don't want the slander.
What? Nobody said anything. No one's doing anything. Come on, just look how beautiful.
At least. It's not my fault because you won on a really bad pay-per-view anyway. So
bad pay-per-view. It was a bad main event.
It was a good match at the beginning, and then the rest was just kind of filler.
Okay. Actually, that was like the only match.
Was good too.
That was the
tag match was good too.
What was the tag match again?
Roman and Daniel versus
that was good.
Eric. Yeah.
Well, I think Justin's dead. I don't remember what happened.
I think he said he was going to get water or something.
Oh, okay, good. So there's Andy, we'll let you go into your rant, but before we do that, I want to talk about one thing. My last little bit of news, I guess. People are making a big deal. Okay, I didn't know where you were. I didn't hear you. I was just like, okay, I guess he's gone. I guess he's dead. Andy, he can't stand you.
Took a little potty break. My bad.
He
hates me.
He cannot stand you. Didn't even say bye. But
right behind me.
I'm also in there. So it's a real paradox for everybody involved. But so people are making a big deal because Doug Peterson, the head coach of the Eagles, said we're going to go and beat the Cowboys. Yeah, no shit. He's the head coach of that team. Why wouldn't he say that? Like Jason Garrett's like, I don't know, man. Actually, that kind of does sound like Jason Garrett. See, and I was hoping that. Me and Jason Garrett threw the challenge flag down right in front of the ref, and all the players would be like, "Yeah, that's metal as hell, Garrett. Stick it to the man." and then you see the video of all the Dallas defensive players just not giving him a high five.
I saw that. I was like, "Damn, dude, the disrespect."
Okay, so I guess that'll be it. My non-Bisser moment. But before we get into, I guess I'll just spoil my non-Bisser moment. Jason Garrett trying to get high fives from his defenders while his team is losing. Non-Bisser. You ain't going to get no high five. They don't want nothing to do with you, you fool. But having that being said, I think Jason Garrett's a great person. I really like him.
I'm not gonna,
But I don't know. I just don't think he's the answer to head coach. Andy, take it away.
Wait, what was the question again? Okay, you kind of broke in and out for a second.
Sorry. No, there was no question. It's just Andy. What was your take on the Titans versus the Broncos? Let's give us the rundown.
Marcus Mariota getting sit.
Yeah, well, the thing about Marcus is I feel like the Titans have completely ruined a fantastic player. Like, there's no doubt that Marcus coming out of high school or coming out of college was a really good quarterback, right? Like, you don't win the Heisman just to win the Heisman.
Exactly.
And so, like, you even saw, in Oregon, he didn't throw the ball very deep, but, like, he was able to move around the pocket more and throw it on the run better, and, like, he was able to actually make plays. Whereas here, with a terrible offensive line now, wide receivers that can't get open, wide receivers that can't do anything, really. Yep. Like, what do you expect him to do? He can't throw it to himself. Like, it's not part of his job.
He did it one time?
He did it one time.
Scored a touchdown.
To beat the Chiefs. But those playoffs, that's a different story. But like I don't understand why. Like, and people here in Tennessee like hate Marcus Mariota now. And it's like he's not the issue with the Titans. Vrabel's not even the issue with the Titans. This is like all the way up to the owner. Like this is the owner's fault for being his dad or his dad beforehand was a cheap old man. And it shows now, and to where like we won't spend money to get a big time wide receiver or a big time defensive player, and so now we're just kind of sitting in the middle of like, well, we're just going to kind of suck and then keep sucking year after year after year.
Hopefully,
I know of a wide receiver that's out there on the market.
I would be fine if they go pick up Antonio Brown. Go pick him up. We had Pac-Man Jones for years, and he was a liability. Go pick up Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I mean, the defenders are going to be confused and be like, who do you got? I got A. Brown. And they'll be like, which one? You're not going to know. Look.
And like, A.J. Brown is a good rookie receiver.
Yeah, definitely. We
Like,
saw him
I
light
have
up
him
the
on-
Falcons.
I have him on my fantasy team, and like week 1, I had him on my bench, and he had over 100 yards week 1, and then against the Falcons, he had over 100 yards again.
Yeah.
So like he's a good wide receiver. It's just when you have like 2 seconds to stand in the pocket and throw the ball, you can't really do anything.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And it's just, and look, I don't know how, we've only had 5 podcasts. I've sat here on nearly every one of them saying that it's not just the quarterback, that's the problem. And
Yeah.
I am mostly wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
But this time, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it again. The quarterback is not the problem. I'm going to say, I thought Ryan Tannehill is a worse Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, like Tannehill's not terrible.
Nah.
I'll give him that.
He's
He
good
can
for
at
a
least
wide
throw the ball deep
receiver.
downfield. He can at least throw the ball deep downfield. Like that's the thing I like about Marcus is like you're able to run RPOs a lot more. So like the defense really has no idea what you're going to do most of the time. Whereas like if you have a guy like Tannehill in the backfield, he's like a
pretty
Tom
much-
Brady,
yeah.
except he's not as good as Tom Brady. Tom Brady, he's going to sit in the pocket and he's still going to beat you. Tannehill's just going to sit in the pocket and you're like, oh yeah, he's fine. He sucks. He's going to throw it anyway, so it's fine.
He'll throw it somewhere.
He'll throw it to us. Don't worry about it.
If we just let him long enough, he'll throw it to one of us. Yeah,
But like,
and
our
just
defense,
don't
like,
watch.
that's the frustrating thing is like our defense is good. Like our defense is actually really, really good, and it's just like your defense can only hold for so long if your offense isn't moving the ball.
Definitely.
And you can definitely tell
know.
that they're good because it was like 6-0 until like mid third quarter or something like
Yeah,
that.
and it's like they're tired because they've been on the field the entire time, so they're going to start to fall apart for a little bit.
I think that they were just trying to find like anything to be positive about on offense. That's why Mike Vrabel, made that call to be like,
Yeah.
put Tannehill in. Like, we're just trying to win this one game.
Well, at that point, he really had nothing to lose. Like,
Yeah.
you're not scoring with Marcus, throwing Tannehill, see if something different will happen. Obviously, it didn't.
Yeah, obviously. I don't know, but all this talk about how bad Titans are is getting me excited when they play the Saints. I think it's like
Oh, we're going to beat the Saints. That's what the Titans do. They'll play really crappy against teams that they should beat, and then they'll be like, "Oh, the Cowboys are getting ready to make the playoffs. Let's shut them out and beat them 28-0 on Monday Night Football." And it's like, why can't you do that all year? You know what I mean? Sorry to throw you under the bus.
I feel attacked.
I like to
You
bring
know
up-
what? You know what? I figured out
That's
something.
payback.
No, bring back for what?
the title.
Oh, okay. But I would like to say something. You know how we're always talking about, oh, it's a catch. I found one for you. It was a forward lateral. That was no miracle. Hey, no
not a
miracle.
forward lateral.
That ball went forward. What a blown
didn't have
call.
No, it wasn't blown. It's the Bills. Come on now. Nobody wants the Bills to move on.
Look, I've
Even though they
watched.
beat us.
You know what? I'm a big proponent of watching the Bills move on as far as they can because 2 times they made the Super Bowl, Cowboys beat them. So Titans, boom, that was a forward lateral. Chase put that in the record book. Where's Dean Blandino to review that one? That son of a bitch. Mike Pereira, where the freak you at? Where's New York? We need to take that one to New York. Back in the day,
God, there was no review back then.
there was a review. They reviewed
was
it.
there a review?
They
Yeah, they did
reviewed it.
review it.
I was
They
like,
did.
they're
They're
like,
like, oh,
played. We don't know. This is the first time we've ever seen a play again. Instant replay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it stands.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like, yep. I don't know. These fans are pretty. These fans are pretty juiced right now. I want to make it back to my car. And then it was a forward lateral at edge by Case. I'm going to put my card face down in defense position and end my turn.
My turn.
So anything else? What do you think? What do you think the solution is in Tennessee?
Better everything.
That's a very good question.
Change their name back to the Oilers and move them back to Houston.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Let's get a pro baseball team in Nashville instead of a football team. They'll be more fun.
How about that? Yeah.
No, I think because I think Derrick Henry is one of the most underrated running backs in the league, and so I think that you could use they need to use him more often, So I think their run game needs to be stronger than their throw game. But if you don't have an offensive line, then you kind of have no point in doing anything. So,
yep, exactly. And then if you can't if you can't pass the ball, you're gonna have a really hard time running the ball as well. And you can't do either of those with a bad offensive line. Use one to set up the other, and they don't have. It would have
been more beneficial for the Titans just to punt on first down every drive.
Let's try and back them up. Cough and kick every time.
Maybe they'll muff the punt this time. We'll be right there for a field goal.
I don't remember. Maybe Mariota is a better punter than he is a quarterback, but
I don't remember who I was listening to, and they're like, "Oh no," because there's a bunch of 3 and outs. They're like, "Oh no, that defense let that punter get into a rhythm and put him down at the 1." I don't remember who it was. I think it was the late game. I think Chris Collinsworth was the one saying it. It's just like, "Oh no,
did you watch that game?"
I was in and out. I was more watching the Astro game.
So shout out to Juju for helping me win in fantasy this week.
One catch, 7 yards. Wow, you almost lost to Gump.
I know, I did. I was nervous, man. I was like, just give the ball to Gordon. You're winning. Just run the ball.
Dude, and now, it's crazy. The Chargers' running game was really good, and then Melvin Gordon came back.
Yeah.
Which is so good, yeah.
Which is insane. I think it's just a matter of time. I don't know what's going on. Maybe Austin Eckler's like, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not the starter anymore. But
probably.
I mean, he's still trying. I see him out there, but they're just always around him because, they obviously know what he's going to do now since whenever they want to run it, they were just going to put Melvin Gordon out there. So whenever Austin Eckler's out there, just oh, man up on this guy because he's obviously going for a little route. And he barely gets the runs anymore. As back then when Melvin Gordon wasn't there, he could do both.
Maybe that's it. We got a question in the chat. Mike Ross said, "Are the Titans more powerful than God?"
Not at all.
No, I guess they're not. I guess they're not beating the Saints.
They're not because Saints have God on their side this year.
Is Saints really God's team? Because if they were, Drew Brees wouldn't have got hurt.
No, they're just resting him for the playoffs, because you got last time.
It's because he was in that godless town of Los Angeles.
So if we move the game out to L.A., then we're good. The Titans will win.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't they have a hard time against those darn Rams.
Talk about.
And the devil is a liar. That's why the refs were involved. But how crazy is it to think that the Rams have also lost 3 straight? No one likes to talk about that, but they sure did.
Can we talk about how good the 49ers actually are this year?
Yeah, I think the 49ers look crazy. And honestly, though, I don't think it matters who's playing quarterback for them. I think it's that front 7 for defense is pretty great. Jimmy G's making plays when he needs to, and their run game is insane.
Their tight end is really good, too. Kittle.
Yeah, I went against him in fantasy. Only got 5 points. Take that, Dad. George Kittle, Zach Ertz, Travis Kelce. Well, you know who won in fantasy? Or you know who the best tight end in fantasy is right now? Austin Hooper, baby.
I have him in my other league, and I absolutely love that man.
Yeah, I like it. I like him.
I got Travis
We're not going steady or anything, but I like him.
You just flexing with your belt over there?
Yeah, baby. You just got to. I just haven't had a lot of time to show it off since we haven't done New World Wrestling in a long time.
Well, we have to talk about wrestling because it's a real sport. Did you not see that
real sport.
Did you not see that War Room on Friday?
That was awful.
I was I don't think these people know what the fuck a War Room is.
Did you see the one guy for USA that literally just had his screensaver going back like he was watching what was going on?
I did not.
Oh, he was literally looking. It was like a picture of like an emu and an ostrich or something like that. And I was like, you are not doing your job very well.
Did you do like the first pick? I think when like they got Becky Lynch or I don't know which War Room it was. They were the same. They were exactly the same.
Yeah.
But there was like, why is there silly string? They were shooting silly string at each other. And I was like, oh yeah, you're going to see the Miami Dolphins. They take a Tua Tamatanga. And then they're going to just be like, yeah, we did it. Who would have? Wow, I can't believe we got him even though we had the first pick.
Yeah, I think that's so dumb. And there's only 2 of them. Like, if obviously the other person doesn't get them, you're going to get them. I was like, what are you celebrating for? I was like, oh, my. It was so crazy.
I was surprised
and then they had
with
the Fox analysts coming out and talking about who their picks would be.
I think Aaron Andrews is a better. I think Aaron Andrews is a better wrestling interviewer than half the people they have hired.
Oh yeah, Aaron Andrews is great. I was just like, well, I didn't know I need to see Aaron Andrews with the New Day, but I need it. And boy, does Kofi have a short memory.
Yeah, he did not care that he lost.
Did you already see that?
Like,
did you see that picture they posted for the Saudi show where he's going to be part of the tag team turmoil to win tag belts?
No,
I did not.
So they're already like, yeah, you go back down to where you were.
Don't worry about the championship anymore.
You can't handle Brock Lesnar or Cain Velasquez.
And that's for the title, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is?
Blah,
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
I don't like any of it.
I would be fine though if Cain Velasquez literally murders Brock Lesnar on TV. I would be fine with that.
Well, he has signed a multiple-year deal.
I heard that.
But I just think that's the biggest middle finger to every single person on the roster.
Like they don't need the title at all.
No, exactly. Like you can sell that on real UFC fight. Is this real? Is this a shoot? Work? Both.
Find out, crown jewel.
Yeah.
Or just here's what you really do: you turn it into a tag match with Velasquez and Ray versus Lesnar and Heyman, and just see who wins.
Whoa, dude! Honestly,
I'm down
though,
for that.
I've talked to so many people about it, but what I wanted was like I wanted there to be shenanigans instead of like you could even like save. You can even protect Brock Lesnar. Like you have like, oh, if Cain Velasquez comes out, whoa, what's happening? But I really wanted more than anything else is for Ray to like beat Brock Lesnar up with a steel chair, like have him like Brock look at Kofi and like have Ray come in before the bell even rings and just bam hit him with a steel chair. Trouble in Paradise. He's still like on his knees or whatever. But then like Ray does some like Io Shirai stuff where he like does like top like high flying moves, but with the steel chair. And then just have him turn heel and have maybe not turn heel because no matter what Ray says, I'm going to root for him.
Yeah. But like you could have them distract Brock and let Kofi just win by a roll up.
Yeah, that's the most devastating move in wrestling.
It is. Well, don't forget about the sledgehammer, because if you bring a sledgehammer at all, then everything's over.
I don't. It's so stupid. Hell in a Cell.
2 years in a row now that the Hell in a Cell match has been stopped by DQ or stoppage.
It's just like, so there are rules then, huh? So it's sort of like
Randy Orton's allowed to take a screwdriver through Jeff Hardy's ear and twist it, and it's completely fine.
Yeah, obviously. Come on, look at right here in the rule book. In that weird, terrible wrestling rule book. Does rope break happen? No, sometimes.
Sometimes when we need it to.
Whenever.
Yeah, it's just like I hate it. It's just like please just be consistent with your rules.
Consistency is the most important thing that they do not have.
Yeah, and I was like, if you're gonna end it, I don't even want to. Dude, should we get into it? I don't know if we should get into it.
Get into it.
Because like if you're just gonna have it end with Seth being being beaten down, coughing up blood, you know, it'd be better if Bray had the Universal title at the end. Wouldn't that look crazy? Wouldn't it feel like
Bray did not care at all about the Universal title and he just wanted to wreck everyone? What if he literally like wrecked Seth Rollins in the ring and then laid down and just pulled Seth's arm over him? So he took the pin, and then he just stood right back up.
Wow.
Like, that's at least telling more character story than what they did.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Did you hear what, the original finish was going to be?
Nope.
Where the Fiend was going to take a bump off the top of the cell, and they were going to do the thing where they, stretcher him out, or, they were all going to come around, and Seth was going to get in his face, and they were going to do the same exact finish. but at least be off the top of the cell, not with the sledgehammer.
Not like I'm just gonna pile. It's because they cracked the code. It's like ladder plus chair plus toolbox plus divided by sledgehammer
equals
contest.
Yeah. Yes, I won. He broke the system. Yes.
But one positive I will say is the new Fox set looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I like all of it. It all seems pretty fresh right now. It's very exciting. So,
And Ooh Baby Pyro is back.
yes,
That's what I was excited for.
Amazing, but when you're in person, it is the loudest sound you'll ever hear in your freaking life.
oh yeah. I remember I went to a SmackDown back in the day with Pyro. I was scared. I didn't like monster trucks. It was loud noise.
Like
I was walking
you remember
through the
the Dudley Boys old entrance where like a fire would come flying out of the sky onto the ramp.
Not really.
Well, it came up or something. It was some combination like that. But like we were literally sitting there and they were making a run in, and like that came out of nowhere. And some dude that was in military beside me literally ducked under the ground. Was like he thought we were being
shooting.
attacked, and I was like, oh, this is not good.
I'm pretty scared for him.
It is insane. Oh my gosh! And we have to. Hell in a Cell. We're not gonna get to that. Let's talk about the real stuff. Bailey turning heel.
I love it.
Dude.
It's killing the
little
Bailey
kid
buddies.
crying.
I know. I love that.
That was
Bailey,
great.
you heard it. Yeah, it was.
He's gonna learn today.
Make all the kids cry.
He's gonna learn today. It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Apparently
What is it?
not.
Vince McMahon said one time, "Life sucks and then you die."
Yeah, exactly. So the day I found out, going back to sports, the day I found out that the world was in sunshine and rainbows was that faithful day in Seattle, where Tony Romo muffed that hold, and that was the day I realized that the world didn't revolve around me or anything I cared about.
And that God hated the Cowboys.
See, my first one was watching the very first Kentucky football game I can remember and being like, oh, so this is what it's like. This is life.
This is what it's going to be like for now.
Yep. Yeah. But wrestling is very exciting right now. AEW is very exciting. My favorite thing from AEW so far is when Chris Jericho said that was dumb creative.
Yes.
When we were talking about We the People. I was like, yeah.
Apparently, a lot of people didn't like that. I saw. I was like looking on Twitter. I was like, what the heck?
I loved it.
Yeah, people are very anti AEW, so they're not gonna like anything they do really.
I think that's so dumb though. Like, why can't you like both? I mean, it's making the shows better for each show.
Like it's awesome to like watch AEW and then go watch NXT, and they're like both two amazing shows. And it's just like this is awesome.
Yeah, I think it'd be impossible to do a podcast on WWE sometimes because like there's just so much. We're gonna go all over the place. Like right now, it's like, oh, we gotta talk about NXT. No, we don't have to talk about NXT. That's too much. But you know what feud I'd really like to see, and I got inspired when I was listening to my workout playlist because both of their themes are on my playlist. I'd love to see The Dream versus The Fiend. I know it sounds super weird.
Oh yeah. But that'd be fantastic.
But I think I would love it. Like I don't know why. I just would love to see what they would cook up.
Oh yeah.
Like with Velveteen. I don't think Velveteen Dream. I think Velveteen Dream stays on NXT as long as you possibly can. Don't let go.
Please,
Triple H, fight him.
Hold him back.
Challenge Vince McMahon to a game of pool. Because one time Triple H and Stephanie McMahon played Vince and his wife in a game of pool, and they won, and Vince McMahon left
Vince
all
walked
mad.
out.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
It's like, it's okay.
That's such a Vince thing.
Somebody probably just sneezed, and he had to get away from it.
Or just smiled when he wasn't supposed to smile. He gets fired for it.
Fired.
Yep.
I own this bar now.
Did you hear the rumor that since Finn being back in NXT, which is awesome, by the way, but Finn being back in NXT, especially if he's going to fight Adam Cole, if at War Games he would have to like find friends to help him fight Undisputed Era, and all of a sudden AJ Styles and OC come down to help and fight in War Games. I think that'd be awesome, especially since I'll be there.
Wait, well, what about they can't actually because there's the death of the wild card rule.
Yeah, but they expect us to forget that in like a week anyway.
Dude, that is so awesome. What are you talking about? You know who's gonna help him? CM Punk, because it's Chicago. He's coming back.
Confirmed.
So I guess they didn't pick CM Punk for the thing he auditioned for Fox.
I guess I think it starts tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's like Booker T, right, or something like that.
Yeah, they may bring him in. They may bring in like a third person in or something. But
I think that's exciting. Like, I'd love for them to do like something like that, like where they just talk.
But did you hear what he said about it?
No.
He said one of the things I think probably didn't land me the job if I didn't get it is I told him if something's good I'm going to praise it, but if something sucks I'm going to say it absolutely sucks.
Yeah, and I don't see why you can't do that. Like,
yeah, he's like if you listen to like sports analysts about like the NFL and stuff, when the Dolphins suck, they don't hold back against them. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
You want to talk about or Stephen A. Smith today?
Oh yeah, that was.
I didn't watch it. I'm sure he said something.
Like that.
Did you see his videos last night?
I don't watch anything from that guy. I don't watch anything from that hack.
The Jets, Jets. I watched.
No, the Cowboys had a bye this week.
I didn't play anybody.
I wish.
They acted like they did. I don't think nobody showed up.
At least the Cowboys scored.
At least, at least I didn't have to watch two New York teams beat up on my team with my own two eyes.
Yeah.
I didn't have to watch at least the Astros beat the Yankees, Praise be Carlos Correa. He let me.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Oh man, I love Carlos Correa. He's awesome. I love it. Like, honestly, like people, like I know people are gonna be super disappointed, like if they don't make it to the World Series and win. But like, I'm just happy we're back in the conversation. like I'm just happy we made it here. Like,
there's been a few years where like the Astros were
the
Lastros now and like sucks.
They went back when we were the Lastros, and they were like, oh, but in a couple of years we might be good. We're getting all these first-round picks, baby boy. And then I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure. And then they called it on the dot. World Series 2017. And I was just like, wow, they did it.
And here's the thing about like all the fans, like all the sports teams I like, they all suck. And I'm except for like Kentucky and basketball, which is why I'm so like hardcore with it. But like the thing that like, because since I'm like a Cincinnati Reds fan, the thing that really ticks me off about them is like they have really good teams. Like they have really good players on their teams. Of like Todd Frazier, Chapman, Brandon Phillips, all these guys, and then they're like, oh, but we'll trade them off for like some 40-year-old pitcher who's terrible and like two prospect guys that you picked in your last round. And it's like, why are we doing this? Like, what is going on? We're the best farm team in baseball, so that's fine.
For all the other teams.
Yeah. You're like, you want to get better? Make a trade with the Reds. Get rid of your scrubs and get a good player.
We're taking scrubs here all day, every day.
You got a baked potato, I'll give you our best player.
I need some more carbs in my diet. You got a baked potato. I'm talking butter and sour cream. We can talk about the pepper. We can haggle that.
The pepper. That's a signing bonus.
That's a signing bonus. Yeah, but I remember the Astros being super bad, and I was devastated when they got swept in the 2005 World Series. So having them win, being super competitive, being like one of the best teams, and being the best team, or having the best record in baseball this year, like I'm just so grateful for all these guys. Like when Charlie Morton left for the Rays, or like Marwin leaves for the Braves and stuff like that. Or Keiko, I think, is also at the Braves. Like, I'm not mad at these guys. Like, go get your money, dude. Like, without you guys, like, we wouldn't have made it. Like, and like, there's other times I'm less like that in football, but like Cole Beasley left to go be with the Bills, got paid his money. Go get your money, dog. I hope you do well there.
Do you? Yeah.
Like, as long as you don't go to like the Eagles, Giants, or Redskins, you do you. Get your money. play your best. So I just hate how people are like, oh, they left us high dry. Like I'm sure some, or maybe not anymore. But like if Randall Cobb would have lit up the Packers or something like that, they'd be like, oh, screw that guy. You guys didn't pay him. Like he thought he
deserves his money.
Yeah, he sure does. And then he just drops a couple balls against the Saints. Anyways.
It's that God thing again.
Damn it. Why have you forsaken us? Anybody have anything else about any sports-related things anywhere?
Spurs are on a losing streak in the preseason, so that's pretty good.
Saving all their wins for the regular season. I like it.
they're gonna fire Popovich. Watch
Oh
out.
yeah.
Yeah, like that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
And
Bill-
DeJounte Murray blocked Zion Williams, and that's because DeJounte Murray looks super skinny.
Can we talk about Zion Williams for a second?
Sure. I don't know anything about
how
him.
How he's like the most overhyped like player, and like he's really good. Don't get me wrong, but like when he hits a layup in preseason, ESPN
Everybody
like blows
just-
their load over it.
Yeah, they do. Like,
And it's like, what are we doing?
It's kind of like my timeline whenever the Cowboys lose.
Yeah, it's exactly what it's like.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how like overhyped he is.
And then he gets dunked on, and everybody's like, What are you talking about? I don't remember that play.
That
I've never
never
seen that
happened.
happen.
Yeah.
Foul. 2 fouls.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the other sports that I know.
Cool. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. Yeah, that offensive pass interference against the Cowboys. No one's talking about that. They're just talking about 0-3. But again, no excuse. Like there shouldn't be any excuses. Like you should have beat that Jets team. But they came out to play. They were ready to play. And that only other time like that team like had Sam Darnold, like they were close. They lost like in the last few seconds against a very good Bills team. So
Yeah.
like, they're a much different team. I know I say it all the time, and it's not just a quarterback, but, man, for that team, it sure is. Made him look like a Hall of Famer.
Oh, for real, they really did. That was crazy.
Anyways, I might pick up Jamison Crowder. I'm thinking about it. Favorable matchup. All right. Well, Annie, I'm so glad you could join us to talk about the Titans. Do you feel better?
Yeah. No, not really. It just kind of made me even sadder, really.
I'm sorry about that.
You guys are sad about your football teams? I'm happy.
Shut your mouth!
Just wait till the postseason, and they miss a tackle or they miss a call,
You know,
and then he'll feel right. He'll
That's
feel
why
just
I'm
like we
enjoying
will.
it right now.
Exactly.
Okay? I'm enjoying it while I can
Yeah,
before they get to the postseason.
I thought I was flying so high after the first 3 weeks.
The elevation was on another level.
Yeah, but I was just like, you know how many times I thought a team was down and out and they ended up doing well? I could go back. The Giants, 2007. Giants the other time. Eagles, 2017. Like, I was just like, I didn't think those people had a chance, but they
pull it off.
Eli Manning can string together 4 straight wins if you need him to.
Not now, but
My dad said, do the Astros panic if they lose tomorrow? They sure do, because Garrett
Yes.
Cole should win. Please, Garrett.
We believe in the Garrett, just not Jason Garrett.
No idea who's pitching Game 4. Me neither. I don't think the Astros know who's pitching Game 4.
Verlander pitched yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. And he only allowed 1 bad hit. Like, it was just happened to be a home run after he
Was it
walked the
Judge?
guy. Yeah, and I hate that guy.
You don't like Judge?
I hate him and his stupid face.
I would understand not liking like Stanton, but Judge is completely different.
I don't even care about Stanton. I hate Aaron Judge. You know who I like? Or,
The
you know-
Judge is in the order.
Okay,
Or
you
the
know,
Judge is on the case.
yeah,
whatever it
well,
is.
I think he's stupid. I think he's dumb. And I saw him say a swear. He mouthed a swear after he hit a home run, and I'm upset. But
Suspended.
yeah, get him out of the league. But what was it? What was I gonna say? Oh, there's one guy I hate right now, but I will respect him after the series. Is that Torres guy? He is damn
Yeah.
good, and I hate him right now.
Oh boy, do I!
Aaron Judge more than everybody else, because all they ever talk about is how tall he is and how much taller he is than Jose Altuve. Shut
Little
up,
shorty.
Joe Buck. I don't care.
At least Altuve is a much better hitter.
Shorty Tuve, you mean?
Oh my God, I will slit your throat. My dad said this just in Nolan Ryan's pitching Game 4. Let's do
Uh-oh.
it. Get him off.
That man seems like he has no emotion when I'm seeing him back there. He's just
That's how you do it. Poker face is super good.
He's like, I wouldn't have made that pitch, but whatever.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Andy, where can they find you?
You can find us on Twitter at DorksNextDoor. Take out the E from next. Or at Ballin' Shandy, where I'd sometimes tweet out when I'm not mad at watching a Kentucky football game or a Tennessee Titans football game.
Justin?
NewWorld_Gamer. That's the only one I got.
All right. You can subscribe to us here, Ballin' with the Boys. Follow us at Ballin' Boys on Twitter. Or go ahead, and the reason I got this bad boy championship, go ahead and follow us on Twitter at New World Nerds. Subscribe to that channel if you haven't already. But if you're here, I'm sure that you've already subscribed. I've been your champion. I have been.
Not even a month. It won't even be a month.
Well, we're not doing Crown Jewel because we don't support that.
No. Survivor Series.
Oh. I'm going to just wait for you to pick. I don't pick everything you pick.
No.
I'm going to be a heel champion. Yeah. No, we'll cook something up special for Survivor Series. We might have to get back in the old podcast ring for Survivor Series.
I'll be at Survivor Series and War Games.
I know you. Yeah, you said you're going to Chicago, right?
Yeah, so I may do like a vlog-esque video when I go. So.
You should definitely.
Yeah.
Do that. Awesome. I tried to do it with the Astro game, but then my phone died when we got there. So I have a great vlog until we get to the stadium.
So you missed the most important part.
Yeah. I was gonna go and get it from whatever Houston Astros Snapchat story they have.
Yeah.
Just be it was definitely when we were there. Yeah. But yeah.
Why do you guys keep changing seats? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Shut up. We got a special package. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Like, comment, subscribe, do all this. Keep balling out there, baby boys.